Well, today we sure are living in some very strange times. Most of us, if not all of us, are aware of the coronavirus that we've been battling all over the world, and these numbers continue to rise not only in our state, the state of Tennessee, but they're rising all across America and still many countries across the world. I do want to take an opportunity to just remind everyone just to practice good common sense, continue to wash your hands thoroughly, practice this 6 feet of social distancing, maybe trying to isolate somewhat. It's just a different day and a different time, so we just need to we need to learn how to cope and live in the day and time that we're living. I'm here today to hope to encourage each and every one that's watching this video. The first thing that I would ask you to do, if you are a believer in Jesus Christ, I would ask you to find your solace, your peace, your comfort in speaking and talking to Him regularly throughout the day. Along with that, I'm just asking everyone to slow down and just take a breath. Let's just slow down. If we could do this, maybe calmness could rule the day, not only in our life, our communities, our state, even our nation. Maybe it would even ease the economy woes that we are suffering here in America and along with the economy of the world. While we walk through these difficult times, I encourage you to be prepared spiritually. Also, I encourage you to be prepared physically. If you have attended the church I pastor for the last 10 plus years, this did not catch us, it did not catch you off guard. We may have not seen the virus coming, but we surely felt the Lord was dealing with us over these past few years that we need to be prepared for the days that are coming. Well, the days are no longer coming. The days are already here. Again, even in these trying times, common sense will still carry the day. If it doesn't do anything else, putting common sense into practice could possibly even make your day a little less stressful. This virus and the suffering economy is not the end of the world. But I want to caution, we must not push it aside and treat this as though it is nothing. This is very serious and we need to treat it as such. Again, good common sense will rule the day if we will allow it. On Monday, I sent a text out to the church where I pastor, starting immediately, all of our services are to be postponed. To the congregation of Church of the Harvest and to the folks that are watching this video, I want to explain and hopefully help you to understand, because today there is a divide among the Christian world that somehow or another, if we choose to suspend our services, that somehow we are allowing the government to dictate whether or not we can worship God or will worship God. First and foremost, it is not a mandate, it is a request from our president. Second of all, we ask the question, can the state mandate or direct worshiping God? The answer is obvious. Obviously not. Absolutely not. After the 15 days, we will, at this church, reevaluate our decision. But this I promise, we will not cease to worship God and we will not cease to function as the body of Christ. And I promise you, we will not keep our doors open we will not keep our doors closed for an extended amount of time. This will not go on for weeks and months on end. Our President, President Trump, and the COVID-19 team ask American citizens to refrain from groups of 10 or more. And they ask us to do this for 15 days, which they believe will help slow this virus. As pastor of Church of the Harvest, I decided to follow this request of our president. Before making the announcement to our church, I first asked myself a few questions. Is this in violation of God's law? And is this bowing to the state? The answer to both of those questions is no. This is nothing but a temporary request. I understand they are now even talking about extending that 15 days, but again, at the end of the 15 days, the leadership of this church will have to reevaluate where we stand and what our next actions will be. Many American Christians today believe that President Trump has been a friend to the Christian community, and I'm one of those that agree with that. He's not only been a friend to the Christian community, but he's also been a friend to many of the things that we take so serious, things like life and how he has stood against abortion, how he has stood and supported our religious freedoms, and over the last 3 years we have felt more comfortable in speaking on controversial issues without infringement of the state. Our president has given us that ease and that peace as men and women of God to speak openly in areas that in time past we felt there would be repercussions. We have absolutely enjoyed having in the White House that person that not only respects the Christian community, but that upholds our First Amendment rights. Now we find our nation in a crisis, and our president is asking for our help. Do I want to cancel church services for the next 15 days? No, I do not. Will I cancel them permanently? No, I will not. Listen, guys, we've canceled services in the past due to weather. We've canceled due to deaths in our local congregations. We've actually had members, and most the people I'm talking to, including myself, have actually missed church services just to go on a family vacation. And that is okay. Again, do we want to cancel? No. We have been blessed so much to live in a country that has afforded each one of us a lifestyle that's not available to the majority of the rest of the world. We have had and still have men and women giving of their life so that we enjoy the freedoms that we have every single day in this nation. It is our turn. We have a nation in crisis. We have been asked to temporarily refrain from groups of 10 or more in hope to slow this virus. How can we say no? Over the past several years, I have asked my church to engage in the civil arena, a concept that was found with our founding fathers, a concept that you can find in the United States in our history, where the church has been so relevant. I've been calling our church to go back to those days, to become relevant once again, to raise people and to train people in our congregations to run for office, and then to help them to understand that they would never park their their faith outside in the parking lot while they go inside and conduct business, but that they take their faith wherever they go and they apply their faith in whatever job that they have. We have been asking this of this congregation and many other congregations across this nation. So how can we now refuse to help our nation when we find it in a crisis? With our closed doors for the next 15 days, will that mean that church will not continue? Absolutely not. We will continue being the body of Christ. I will continue to preach sermons. Hopefully that the worship team will be able to join with me, and you will be able to monitor this via YouTube, Facebook, or our church website. At this point, I have not chosen to stream them live, but they will be available to you anyway by 10:30 on Sunday morning to view at your leisure. We will continue. It's just going to be a little different. We will continue to worship, and we will continue to assemble, but we're just going to do this in lower numbers on a temporary time frame. I want to leave you with a text, or anyway a portion of a text that I sent to our church a few days ago. In this text, I wrote, each one of us is being asked to make sacrifices in order to hopefully slow this virus. If I may borrow a statement from President Kennedy, that when giving his inaugural address, he made a statement that I believe is again being asked of us again today in 2020. And he said, I quote, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what can you do for your country." President Roosevelt, in his inaugural address, stated, and I quote, "Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing that we have to fear is fear itself." And last but not least, I'm reminded of the passage in the book of Joshua. In Joshua chapter 1, verse 9, he says, "I have not commanded you, be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." May God bless each and every one of you, and may God bless America.